Okay, so welcome to all the students. A very good evening and a very good afternoon. Welcome to the Project Lighthouse session. Today, you're going to meet Bhavesh and Prajwal. Prajwal would be the speaker for the day who will take you through what he has in store. So I'm not going to share much details there, but let me first quickly introduce Bhavesh and Prajwal. So Bhavesh loves working with cutting edge technologies and creating products and services leveraging them. In his career of over 22 years, he has been working in the cloud computing space for almost 18 years. He is the co-founder and CEO of CloudAttack EduTech Private Limited and has 10 plus years of entrepreneurship experience. His article has also been published in Times of India and Your Story amongst various publications. So you have a lot to learn from him. And then our speaker of the day, Prajwal. Prajwal is just a 16-year-old, but it's just 16 is a number for him. He's a young innovator and an entrepreneur, co-founder and chief product officer at CloudAttack EduTech Private Limited. He's recognized as India's youngest Microsoft certified Azure AI engineer by the India Book of Records. He's also awarded India Top 20 Under 20 by White Canva India and Brainfeed magazine. He believes in the quote, knowledge is power. He is certified Python programmer. He is a certified Scrum Master. He's certified Scrum product owner. He's a Microsoft certified Azure Data Scientist Associate, Azure Administrator, certified trainer, and Microsoft certified security engineer associate. These are few of the certifications that he has achieved till now, and I'm sure many of these certifications are still coming up. For creating and implementing mindful and socially beneficial innovations, won him more than 50 different national and even international level of vast recognition and awards. His innovation, COVID-19 AID mobile app, won him the International MIT App Inventor Coronavirus App Challenge from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, USA. He was honored to represent India at the Indo-Russia Bilateral Youth Research-Based Innovation Program 3.0 by CIRIS, Russia, and Atal Innovation Mission, Government of India. His socially impacting innovation, PixMe mobile app, was awarded as India's top 20 innovation at ATL Marathon 2019 by AIM, Niti Aayog, and Government of India. For his innovation and achievement, he is honored as Extraordinary Youth by the Rotary Club of Delhi Elite. He's featured on the prestigious George Bush Foundation under 2022 Points of Light Inspiration Honor Roll and Bespoke Diaries. So that's Prajwal for you. Prajwal, over to you. I'll not take much time. Student, take as much as you can from Prajwal. He's the inspiration for all of us. So Prajwal, over to you.
Thank you so much, Kunjan. Just to check, I'm clearly audible, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Superb. So, hey, hello everyone. How's the Josh? Well, if it's low, then I'm here to set it high. And if it's high, then I'm here to get it even higher. So, during this entire session, right, we want you to sit back, cloud up, and enjoy this session to the max. Okay, so this is going to be completely informal, and I'm not going to be, using big techie terms. I promise. I'll try my best on this, and we'll try to make it as informal as possible, and most importantly, as interactive as possible. So you'll be having polls, you'll be having question and answers, and there's a small surprise for all of you at the end of the session that I think would help you guys a lot on your cloud journey. So stay tuned for that. So Gunjan gave a pretty good and elaborate introduction of both me and Bhavesh. So my name is Prajwal and H, and these are just some of the certifications that I have in terms of Azure. I'm also a TEDx speaker, and I'm also a Python certified programmer. Along with that, I have 7 other Azure certifications, and I'm also a Microsoft certified trainer by Microsoft themselves. Okay, so before we talk anything about tech, before we get into the session, okay, let's just do a very quick poll, all right? So this poll is just to understand what all of you guys think. And trust me, it's going to be witty, funny, it's going to be fun. There's no right answer, there's no wrong answer to this. It's just your perception about how you're seeing things around you right now. All right, so let's get started. So for this, I'll request all of you to actually scan the QR code you're seeing on the screen. And also you'll have a link sent to you in the chat box in case you want to, do it through your PC, etc. But if it's through your phone, you can scan the QR code and you will be in the poll. So let's wait a couple of minutes, get people complete it, and then we'll actually go ahead and look at the results and explore what all of you think. Okay, that's nice. I can see responses coming in. Come on, guys, we can do it faster.
Students, I'm sure you're able to scan the code. Either you can click on the link. The link is being posted in the chat. So just click on that and answer the questions.
Superb. I'm able to see diverse, various, different types of responses. It's nice to know. Yeah. So, guys, we have 31 people in the meeting right now. I can see around 15 responses, half more people to go. Right.
So I think Prajwal, we can disclose.
Sure.
And rest of the students, you can keep continuing doing the poll. But yeah, Prajwal, excited to hear.
Okay, then let's see the results, shall we? So, this gives that feeling of seeing exam results at some point of time. It's going to be much more relaxing, don't worry. Okay, so I'm just going to turn towards my right for the poll results. Hope my poll results are visible. All right, so we've got 23 responses so far, and these were the questions and these are the answers we've received. So let's see. Lump sum payments or small interest-free payments. 83% people voted for interest-free smaller payments than lump sum. Okay, that's nice. Okay, are you guys interested into AIML? I can see around 96% people interested into AIML. So you guys have really a lot of good news coming your way. Okay, and then how many job openings do you think there will be in the cloud computing field by 2025? Okay, this has diverse answers. Let's look at that. So 22% people say 1 lakh, 39% say 20 lakh, and 39% say 5 lakh. So we'll be disclosing the answer of this one according to a report, okay, in our session, and you will be amazed seeing the actual number. And are you scared about IT layoffs in the market right now? So, okay. So I can see 9 people voted for yes, they are scared, and 14 people, they're not scared. That's nice. That's nice. And then next question, where do you think most of the tech and software services are hosted right now? Yes, cloud computing services, 83%. That's nice to see. Okay, someone thinks it's in their neighbor's basement. That's funny. That's nice. And do you think cloud career carries potential? Absolutely. Sky is the limit. 16 people. So we got maximum majority on that. So, right, I can see everyone is on the right meeting, the right platform, and is going to be super interested in what we're going to do right now. So that was nice. Okay, so we've looked at the results. Now, actually, let's look at some numbers that were there in the poll, and at the same time, let's talk numbers, right? So, 20 lakh job cloud job vacancies are going to be open by 2025, according to NASSCOM. This was a question in the poll. A lot of you said 5 lakh, 10 lakh. It's 20 lakh cloud jobs that are going to be there by 2025, according to NASSCOM. And guys, 40% increase in the job postings for cloud roles in the past 5 years. Just mark the number 40%. That's massive. And most importantly, for all of you, this is your big chance. Use it in the best way possible. You're in the era of cloud computing evolving and supporting multiple different technologies. Leverage that. Also, just few more points. According to a report by IBM, the demand for cloud computing skills has grown by over 5 times in the past 5 years. A report on LinkedIn shows that cloud computing is one of the most in demand skills in the job market, with a year on year growth rate of nearly 20% in job postings. A report by Indeed shows that job postings for cloud computing resources have increased by 40% in the past 5 years. And according to a report by Burning Glass Technologies, the demand for cloud computing professionals is growing faster than the demand of professionals in any other technology field. Now, these statistics indicate that there is a high demand for professionals with skills in cloud computing and that companies are actively hiring in this field. Now, we talked about numbers, right? But why should you, as an individual, pursue a career in cloud or in cloud computing? Number one reason, it's a fast growing industry. What do I mean by this? Just looking at the current advancements of the market, right, in terms of AI, ML, you have ChatGPT, OpenAI, and you have many more products coming in. Cloud computing industry is one such industry that's going to be the backbone of all of these products, and hence it'll grow as rapidly as any other technology will. So it is a very fast growing technology. Next, you know, cloud computing is this field which has a lot of high demand, and at the same time it has high salaries as well. So cloud computing is one of the fastest growing industries, right? And according to a report by Forbes, the cloud computing market is projected to reach around $623 billion by 2023. And talking about high salaries, just look at the market right now. You see any cloud job posting, you know why I'm actually even referring to this. Cloud computing professionals are in high demand, and as a result, they can command high salaries. The average salary for a cloud computing professional is around $1,30,000 per year. That's around $130,000 per year, according to Glassdoor. Next, career advancement opportunities. What do I mean by this? In the cloud computing field, you always have an opportunity to upskill. There's always something more you can learn, another service you can put in your basket of known services that you've used in a cloud platform, and that will actually help you advance in your career. There's no full stop in terms of how much you can learn cloud, because there's just so much in it. It's grown over the years and it's taken a long time to do that. So being able to digest all that knowledge and be a pro at it is going to take a lot of, it's going to take a lot of knowledge that you'll require. And at the same time, that gives you an opportunity to actually be competitive and gives you career advancement opportunities. There's no stop in this particular field. Next, remote work options. There's no need to be physically present anywhere, because you don't have a data center that you have to maintain, etc. So companies usually also offer you an opportunity to work remotely or in a hybrid environment. Next, most importantly, what I believe in, make an impact. This entire flow that we're seeing of cloud computing, it's a wave, and flowing against it will not help, but leveraging it to create an impact that it has the potential to is where we should be headed to. Now, scope of cloud computing, all right? Number one, the future is very, very, very bright. And according to a report, like I was telling, the cloud market in India is going to be around $2 billion, and it is going to exponentially grow at almost a growth rate of 30%. Now, also, another very important part of cloud computing is it's spread across the world, right? It's not limited to India, it's not limited to Asia, it's spread across the world. What does that mean? That means you have career opportunities not only in India, but in various other countries as well. It is a global network, and hence you can leverage that to your advantage. Next, we've been talking about numbers. We've been talking about the impact cloud computing can create. Let's understand what is cloud computing. And right now, guys, this is going to sound a little technical, but I promise you, I'll ease this entire out with wonderful, witty, funny examples in just some slides. So just stay with me here, buckle up, cloud up, and just be completely attentive. Now, what is cloud computing? So first of all, thanks to its name, some people think that it's data stored in the cloud, and they're always confused. Why is it called the cloud? Right? But this is just a metaphor. So since the internet is always represented with the symbol of a cloud, that's where this particular name comes from, the same symbol. And but what is cloud actually? If it's not data stored on the clouds, in the air, what is cloud? So cloud computing is a technology that enables users to access and store data, applications, and other computing resources over the internet rather than on local servers or personal devices. Now, this sounds techy, right? This is the definition that you would get anywhere else. Let's, break this down into smaller pieces. So cloud computing is a technology that enables you to access and store data, all right, applications and other computing resources. Clear? Now, what's the difference here? Instead of having it on local servers or your personal PC, right? It's as simple as this. Instead of storing files on your PC, instead of storing videos and other documents on your PC or on a local server, imagine you're storing that on OneDrive. OneDrive is a cloud product. Now, cloud computing has transformed the way organizations operate overall, and it has become an integral part of many businesses and their digital strategies. This means that the demand for cloud computing is not going to go down anytime soon. Again, an opportunity that we all need to embrace. But now there's always this one confusion. Cloud computing, all right, I understand what it does, but isn't that also what the internet does? And there's always this confusion I see between people about the internet, the cloud, and then all these servers on premises. So let's clear that out one shot right now. First, let's understand what is the internet. Now, the internet is a vast network that connects computers all around the world. Now, what it is just a network, right? Internet cannot store data, all right? Internet can only get that data from one point to another. It is a network. So whenever you say I'm storing anything on the internet, it's actually at the end of the day being stored on cloud or someone's server somewhere. So applications, data, anything that you're storing and that you need, anything to process, right? Any application that you store on the cloud or perhaps anywhere, it needs to be processed, rendered out, and it needs to be deployable. So all of this happens somewhere. Where does it happen? It happens in a server. So, you need computing, that is, you need processing for it. You need a storage, and you also need a network. You need to be able to connect to those particular machines. And that is where cloud computing comes into place. Now, how does the cloud help, right? So, first of all, it helps you with cost. And that's why it is so attractive to so many people. It has something called as pay as you go subscription or pay as you go pricing model. What is that? Let's explore. So pay as you go pricing model actually gets you lower your operating costs down. So anything that your working capital etc. actually comes under operating costs too. So Instead of buying servers, keeping them in your garage, in your office, you rent them out. That's what cloud is about. I'll be talking more about this. So basically, when you're renting it out, you're lowering your operating cost because you don't need people to maintain that hardware and you don't need to maintain it yourself either. Next, using cloud, you can run your infrastructure more efficiently. What does this mean? Like I told, since there's a lack of maintenance from your end, people are taking care of this all the time. You have SLAs, that is nothing but service level agreements, that actually give you a promise that your particular resource is going to be up for this much percent of the time. And if it goes below that, then you actually have some credits and other advantages that you can avail as well. So you can run your infrastructure much more efficiently using the cloud. Most important change, scale your business as and when it needs, right? Imagine you're in e-commerce and you launch this big sale tomorrow and you're going to get a lot of traffic, a lot of customers coming your way. Instead of calling us, provider or, a technician that I need X amount of servers just because I have this XYZ event, instead of hiring more people temporarily for actually being able to maintain those servers, you can scale it using the cloud with just few clicks of, buttons on the portal. Now let's go ahead and understand life, okay, before cloud computing and after cloud computing. So what will this help us understand? So it'll help us understand the necessity of why cloud computing was brought into the industry, what it can solve, and most importantly, who is it for? So I love stories, all right. So and we've all been through this, and we always learn better through stories. So let me tell you one such story. Okay, instead of you being an employee, suppose you own a software company that employs 100 people who make programs for businesses and corporations. Creating complex programs quite understandably requires a lot of resources and machines, including servers, computers, a huge number of storage devices, and a giant cooling system to keep all the things in a server room from overheating. You've been there, right? When you have a low configuration PC, you're doing some XYZ stuff in it, it starts overheating. You need to cool it down. Imagine this 100x, 10x. Imagine the cooling maintenance you would require. Now, story before the advent of cloud computing. Ouch, this is painful. Hang on. So before that, right, you can see the picture here. There's this guy sitting in front of servers or, in a server room, managing everything by himself. Then you see this icon of money and you see people fixing stuff. What does this all mean? Before cloud computing, you had to buy servers, store them in your garage, your office, and that's how you would actually go online. I don't know if you've all heard this, but whenever you hear an old startup journey, startups that have started 20, 30 years ago, the first thing that they tell, I started from my garage. Mark Zuckerberg, we know, used Harvard servers when he launched Facebook in 2004, and he was able to use them because he was privileged enough to actually have access to them. But at that point of time, right, what if you're not in Harvard? What if you're in just some XYZ university and you want to make the next Facebook? You want to make the next, big thing. How are you going to do it? It was very hard. You needed a lot of capital for it. You needed money. And for that, you also needed people to support you and work with you. You need people to maintain those servers, that hardware. Even our PC crashes so many times and you have to take it to people to fix it, right? Imagine gigantic servers in your room, hundreds of them, tens of them, and you have to actually maintain that. Imagine the amount of toil as a business owner you would have to take. Or perhaps, even if you're on the other side, maintaining these servers, imagine the amount of toil that would have to take maintaining the servers again and again and again. Most of the servers, guys, note, would probably not even be used due to lack of traffic. Now, here comes our hero, cloud computing. The revolution that cloud computing has solved and what has changed in the world after it. Now, imagine you want to deploy the same software, right? The same applications. Instead of renting out your own server, paying huge amounts, getting people, maintain that. This is, guys, all you have to do. Okay, just hang on with me. You might laugh, it's completely okay. So you'll open your PC. I'm starting out very simple. You open your PC, you go to a cloud service provider portal on a web browser. That can be anything like, Microsoft Azure. You'd go to portal.azure.com. Then you log into your account, your Azure account, and you configure the hardware you require. What does this mean? You tell Azure how much RAM you want, how many virtual CPUs you want, how much storage you want, and how much, say, for example, IO bandwidth you want for the particular application. And this is all based on traffic. Of course, in cloud, you can auto scale this, so you don't have to take care of it yourself. Azure does this for you too. And after that, all you have to do is take your software and upload it into the cloud, that is a database, set up the processing power required, just connect things together. And the last step, take this entire environment, take it, ding, connect it to the internet. That's it. Yeah, that's it. The application is live. People can now access it. You have a link that you can send to possibly anyone that who wants to, for example, wants to open that website, view your application, test it out, and it's live. All of this you can do sitting at home with just clicks of few buttons. And that is, guys, the revolution that cloud computing has brought. And I'm telling this again and again, leveraging this is the advantage that we all can use right now. Next, what is a cloud service provider? This is a term that we've probably seen all around. Cloud service provider. Anyone who's even a bit familiar with, the term cloud would probably have seen this. And just the logo of Azure here right now makes a lot of sense about what a cloud service provider can be. So let's dig a little deeper into for people who don't know this yet. So cloud service provider is a vendor that offers cloud-based infrastructure or storage services. Now, all this is fine, but why do we need a cloud service provider? We need one because the cloud service provider is the person, an organization, a company that takes care of maintaining that infrastructure for you. They have one data center where they have multiple servers, infrastructure, storage devices required, and all they do is they give you access to those servers remotely at a place you're sitting, your office, your home, anywhere. You don't have to go to the data center and do anything. And they take care about maintenance. They take care of everything, and all you have to take care is of your application, the security, the storage, and that's pretty much it. There are different models. Again, like you have IaaS, you have PaaS, you have SaaS, where you decide how much of metrics or things you take care of and how much you are leaving on the shoulders of the cloud service provider. Now, some examples of cloud service provider. What else do we need, guys? Come on, Microsoft Azure, one of the most easiest cloud platforms to be able to learn. That's where I started my journey from, and I have loved it. So that is one example for a cloud service provider. Now, the next slide is going to be a bit of a surprise. Okay, so hang in. The example. Okay, so here you can see me equating Panipuri to cloud computing. Or if you're going to laugh, I know it's completely fine, but just hear me out. There's a story on this. And trust me, you will never be able to explain cloud computing easier without Panipuri ever again. So you're seeing this beautiful plate of Pani Puri, right? I know I'm watering all of your mouths. I'm sorry for that, guys. My mouth is watering right now. So this beautiful plate of Pani Puri, say it costs 30 rupees. And just to take a rough figure, there are 6 puris in this one plate. So it's a very robust math that we are applying here. Each Pani Puri, each puri is, of course, worth 5 rupees, right? And now I'm giving you a scenario where I am full. Okay, I am completely full and I can't have any more, but I see Pani Puri. I love it, and I've at least got to have one or two. Now, what I would do is in that particular case, I would buy the entire plate, right? But I have capacity to eat only two. What am I going to do with the other four? And this particular shopkeeper is, of course, not going to offer me only two pani puris. So I'd probably waste the four. I would maybe share it. I don't know how to do it, but that is where I'm wasting money. I'm only eating two puris worth 10 rupees, but I'm wasting puris and pani puri worth 20 rupees. Come on, why would anyone want to waste pani puri? So let's see how cloud computing solves this. Instead, what cloud computing says is, hey, you know what? You want two puris? I'll give you two puris. So cloud computing, you can imagine, is that roadside vendor of pani puri will give you just one by one as in when you ask for it. So you want two puris, he'll tell you know what? Pay me 10 rupees. I give you exactly two puris. You're full. You're happy. The cloud service vendor, the pani puri wala in this case, is also happy because he's getting more volume. At the same time, he's able to sell. So it's a complete win-win situation, right? So you've saved a total of 20 rupees by getting two puris instead of the entire plate. That is literally cloud in a nutshell. Instead of buying massive amounts of servers, infrastructure, and all of that, you just ask Azure or your cloud service provider to give you resources of how much you need, and based on your traffic and necessity, at that particular point of time. Another example. Okay, so this is a car, very beautiful, I know. And we'll take this as our on-premises server. Why? Because it's your own car. It's a car that you've bought. Now let's see all the things that go into it. Number one, can't forget the cost of the car itself. It costs lakhs. And looking at the inflation right now, no words, no comments. So you're going to pay for the insurance. You're going to take care of security. You're going to have to take care of washing it, cleaning it, keeping it hygienic. You're going to take care of driving it as well. Of course, it's your car. Unless and until you have someone else to drive it, most of the time you're going to end up driving it. You're going to take it to the mechanic. You will be responsible and you'll have the ownership of getting it fixed. All this cost is on you. Now that's an on-premises server. Now let's see how cloud solves this again. What does cloud tell? You know what? Don't buy your own car. Rather travel in a cab. That's what cloud tells you. So instead of you getting your own car, spending lump sum money, we saw the poll, right? A lot of people don't like spending lump sum money. They like spending on smaller installments without interest. So instead of spending whole some money on this one car, cloud computing tells you, hey, rather book a cab. So what you have to do is you don't have to worry about insurance. You don't have to worry about the car. You don't have to worry about the security, the hygiene. You don't have to even drive it yourself. All you do is go to the back seat, sit down, and enjoy your jolly ride. Again, guys, cloud computing in a nutshell. You are not maintaining the physical infrastructure. The cloud service provider, in this case, the cab driver is doing it for you, and all you're doing is sitting, enjoying the jolly ride, and enjoying your journey, scaling your business up, building your business up, or even your organization in that matter. This was also another example of pay as you go, right? If you travel 5 kilometers, right, in a cab, you pay for 5 kilometers. If you travel 10 kilometers, you pay for 10 kilometers. And if you travel for 4 hours, you only pay for 4 hours. That's the entire model. You pay for how much you use. That's the exact thing that cloud computing tells you. Instead of paying for massive infra at once, pay for the little quantities that you're using at a time. So next time you want to explain what is cloud computing to anyone, remember two things: pani puri, and the second thing, a cab. That's all cloud computing is. Now, what are the advantages of cloud computing? We've been talking about cloud, we've been talking about what it has to offer. But what are the advantages? Why would anyone use cloud computing? Number one, go to market, right? That's very important. So cloud computing lets you innovate faster. Instead of keeping your on-prem servers, instead of having your own system, instead it's on the cloud. So you don't have to, take care of that operations that you have so and so infrastructure coming up, so and so session coming up, and all of that. That's completely taken care by the cloud. Next, you have a limitless, pool of raw compute, storage, and networking components. You don't really need a lot of again that operation in terms of carrying servers and all of that. That's completely eliminated, and you have a limitless pool of compute, storage, etc. Next, cloud computing also offers you AI services. I saw people were very interested into AI. It gives you speech recognition and other cognitive services as well. And I have a small extra point to this at the end of the session, so hang in there. And we've all seen how much anyone who's trained AI ML models on the system, your system heats up, it crashes, and that's a disappointment. Guess what, guys? Here's the solution. That's not going to happen anymore. Run it on the cloud with just a little bit of investment. That's much better than buying a new PC. You'll be able to run that particular ML or AI model effortlessly on the cloud, and you'll be able to train it. You don't have to keep your PC on. You don't have to sit in front of your PC seeing, oh, my PC is overheating, this is happening, that is happening. All of that is taken care of by the cloud service provider. So my take on this personal suggestion: AI ML is to be done on the cloud, and it's the best place you can actually train AI ML models and even experiment. Next, you have analytical services. What does this mean? So you can see the amount of traffic that's coming to your website. You can see if there's any anomaly into your website. Someone is launching an attack, and all of this data is captured by the cloud service provider if you want to. So you have all of that data for analytics as well. Number two, cloud is not limited to India, guys. Like I told you, it's not limited to one country, one region. It's spread across the world. So if you have a client tomorrow in US, you have a client tomorrow in UK, for example, anywhere around the world, instead of going there, setting servers, getting infra ready there again, spending a lot of money, all you have to do is go to your Azure portal, enable the US UK region, and you can serve clients even in various other countries in almost any other part of the world. So that is what cloud computing has to offer. Now, we've been talking about scalability and fault tolerance indirectly all this time. Let's take a little deeper in what scalability is. Simple. Scalability is being able to make the processing power more, or rather making your systems or your VMs more powerful. There are two ways to this. One is vertical scaling, that is increasing the RAM, the CPUs of your machine or your VM. And the second thing in this is horizontal scaling, that is you install multiple VMs and you balance traffic, that is you distribute traffic equally to all these VMs. It's like buying multiple computers or increasing RAM and other SSD storage in your existing computer. That's what scalability is in a nutshell. Next, consumption-based model. We've been talking about this. What are the advantages? Number one, you get better cost prediction. All right, so you are able to predict the cost you will face at the end of the month using cloud resources upfront, so you keep your capital ready. Next, you pay for individual resources and only the resources you have used. And like I told, billing is on actual usage. You will not be charged for anything you haven't used. Now, this is something very interesting, massive numbers, I know. This is called the total cost of ownership calculator. This is a tool you'll find on Azure, and it tells you how much you'll save over an X period of time. Okay, if you have your on-premise server versus you have that same application stored on the cloud. And this I took a reading for almost 5 years with an existing cloud environment that I was able to find. And the savings, guys, is massive. Just read this number: 21 crores of saving. All right, 21 crores, 15 lakhs of savings in the next 5 years if you move to the cloud. Now, who wouldn't want to save this much amount of money? Next, it's all February. We know this had to come up. My perfect Valentine, cloud computing. My love for cloud and the journey so far. This is just to give you all a glimpse of anyone who's going through the same journey of how it's like. So, guys, I started in seventh grade at around the age of 13. And of course, I didn't know a lot about tech and all of that at that particular point of time. All I was interested in was electronics. I got into a robotics class because it's associated with electronics, and I understood that I have to learn programming. So I learned C, C++. I started using it in electronics. Arduino, if you've heard of it, I love the experience. But I was still an electronics oriented guy, right? So I always loved electronics more than software. Then I learned Python during my lockdown. I also got certified. I started making crazy, awesome AI/ML projects out of it, and that's where I was like, boom, this thing is massive. This has scope, and I can do a lot of stuff with this. So I started exploring. Then what happened is I got stuck with something called as cloud computing that I've been talking about all through this session. And there's a pretty good story to this. So, like Kunjan was mentioning, I was a part of an Indo-Russian program, and that's where I met my co-founder Bhavesh as well. In that particular project, we were using, cloud as well. It was a news aggregator, so we were using cloud services. That's when I realized what cloud can do, and I got much more interested. You know what? Let's learn this. Let's dig deep and deep dive into this. So I went ahead, I learned about cloud, and I realized that I loved it because it has this entire hardware part of my love completely virtualized, where I don't have to really go ahead and maintain any hardware components. At the same time, it gives me a platform to deploy all my software that I had and make it accessible to the world. That's my journey of cloud computing. Then I took one certification, and the reason I took the certification was because of my dad, right? He is into IT too. So he told me to take the certification, and I realized that I was able to learn much more because of the certification than me learning without it. So that's when I realized that it was able to fill the gaps. There's always the situation of you don't know what you don't know. If you have a material that you can, tick mark, okay, I know this. It's always easier and you learn better. That's what my personal experience has been. So I took one certification, AZ900. I got around 97% in it, and I loved the experience. So I started taking many more. I took EI 900. I started taking associate levels. I became the youngest Microsoft certified Azure AI engineer in India by India Book of Records. Then I started taking many more, and I took around 7 certifications. The recent one I took, Microsoft certified Azure security engineer. I studied for that, guys, only in 1 week. So when you get this experience of Azure, playing around with it, these certifications become very easy. So hands-on experience, being able to actually stick around and have that persistence to learn and implement your knowledge is, I think, what counts in terms of taking certifications, etc. Again, these certifications help you in your job roles and possibly any other where, and also most importantly, it helps you learn and experience Azure. Now, this is one interesting part that I was asking you all to wait for. Cloud in your life. So I know you have to make projects from FRT. So I thought, why not help you guys with a couple of ideas here and there. These are some project ideas for all of you that to show you what you can make using cloud computing. Number one, like I told you, you can deploy a website on Azure storage under 5 minutes. Now I can show this to you, but I'm not on purpose so that you explore Azure. If I show it to you, you'll only do XYZ steps that I tell you. And for doing it on your own, you'll explore, you learn much more. So crack this, guys. See how you can do it. Deploy a website in Azure storage under 5 minutes. You can take it as a challenge. It's going to be really fun, and you'll enjoy the entire experience and potential of what cloud can offer. Next, there's a story behind this one idea. So I am in school, right? I'm always, very reluctant to read big textbooks, pages, and I'm like, who's going to read this at that particular point of time? Because I'm exhausted, tired. So I always feel that why not have an app or something where I just take a picture and it reads an entire page out to me like an audiobook. This is something, guys, you can actually conquer using Microsoft Azure Cloud. So you can use Azure OCR and Azure Speech. You can create an app integrating these two services. And what that app will do, you take a picture of any, for example, content, maybe a signboard. You can also have your textbooks, newspapers, anywhere. So you also use Azure Form Recognizer, and you get, the content read out on your mobile using Azure Speech. That's not the limit. You also have translation services in Azure Speech, so you can get that translated. Anything in Hindi can be read to English. English can be read to Telugu, any other language. So that is just limitless. Next, this is for people who are into marketing or who say want to pursue a career into marketing, who are interested in this field. So, you want to find out, imagine the scenario, you want to find out people who have tagged your company on Twitter or who've written anything about your company on Twitter. You want to analyze user feedback. You want to see whether they like your product, whether they don't, and what their general views are. Or say you've launched a contest on Twitter. There's one hashtag you've asked everyone to include, and you want to get notified every time someone uses that hashtag, tags you in their post or anything as such, and you want a report of that, right? So what you can do is you can use something called as Azure Logic Apps, and whenever a tweet with certain keywords that you've added is shared on Twitter or tagging you with a particular hashtag shared on Twitter, it'll add that to something like your Microsoft Excel or possibly any other place. You can also get it send you an email. There is limitless things you can do with this. You can also say, for example, decide a random winner automatically, and you won't have to manually do that as a person. These are just three ideas that I've given you just to get that thinking cap on, so that you can brainstorm a bit more and get started on building your projects. So there's a lot more, guys, that you can do. Now, are you guys tired of attending lectures, watching videos, reading countless books and documents? Well, that does sound like a lot of work, and that's why I told you the particular idea I did just a few minutes ago. And let's face it, it's not always enjoyable, right? It sometimes becomes pain. But, what if I told you that learning cloud can be fun, interactive, and engaging? Instead of reading books, hours long of content, videos, and whatnot, you can learn cloud through a game. Imagine being able to compete with your friends and stay motivated on your journey of becoming a cloud certified professional. Yes, it's possible. With the solution I have to transform your lives and to get you booted on, get you, started on your cloud journey right now. This experience is going to be thrilling and satisfying for all of you. And you're not going to be dealt by that thought that you have to study for cloud and you have to do xyz stuff and again. And let's completely get you engaged, immersed into learning cloud. How are we going to do that? You have the solution. We've got you covered. CloudAttack. So right now I'm going to ask you guys to actually go ahead, scan this QR code, and install the app. We're going to have a small contest between all of the people present here, and the winners also going to receive some, branded merchandise. And yeah, it's going to be a great experience. So you'll also have a link of Play Store and App Store posted on the chat and the QR code sent. I'll have this on for a couple of minutes too. And in the meantime, I'll open the app. Okay, so guys, I can see the links and QR code on the chat. So I'll stop sharing my screen. Right, 3, 2, 1, here we go. Right, now I'm going to share my phone and let's actually open the app. I'll launch this contest live in front of you, and I'll actually teach you how you guys can launch contests like this between your friends, your friend circles, your relatives, colleagues, anyone. And you can also make your own leaderboard and make cloud immersive and fun. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and actually get to it. Awesome. So I can see someone is going to install the app right away. Please do, please do. We'll have a small contest right now. Let's see who tops the leaderboard in the least amount of time. And just one more suggestion. So since this is a contest, we'll require assistance from you guys to be able to contact the winners and you guys if you win. And I know no one would want to miss out on those branded shirts or merchandise. So please log in using Google Play or LinkedIn. We'll be able to reach out back to you if you won, and you'll be able to receive your prizes much faster and easier as well. So please log in using Google Play and LinkedIn. All right, here is my phone screen. Okay, and here is the CloudAttack app. First of all, guys, welcome to CloudAttack. Just forget about the entire perspective of being able to study and all of that. You're completely at a different place right now. Trust me. Now I'm going to go to a feature called Private League here, and that's going to be able to create a cohort of students in such a way that you'll be able to compete between yourselves. So I go to Private Leagues, and like you can see, I have few private leagues listed here already. Now I'll be creating a private league. So guys, let's name this something like, let's see. What about FRT Cloud Combat? How's that name sound, guys? Okay, you know what? Let's actually go ahead and name that. All right. And the duration for this is going to be 1 day. So guys, you've got to be on your toes. You have only 1 day to top the leaderboard. So after that, the private league is closed and you'll not be able to play in this particular private league. Of course, you can create 20 more, but we'll have our winners after 24 hours. So you have 24 hours of the contest. Give your best. Okay, and you can select categories that you want to compete in. Right now, it's going to be cloud fundamentals and Azure fundamentals. All right, so this is the code that you're seeing right here. So go ahead, okay, click on the join button you're able to see and type this code in. The code is H5MFOE. Okay, so you will have all of the code, details, etc. in your chat box. So go ahead, guys, and access this. I want to see all 31 people in the private league right now. I don't want anyone to miss an opportunity to come on with branded merchandise. Okay. Now let's get in. All right, we have a couple of people. Okay.
So while we are waiting for the people, Prajwal, I just wanted to kind of add that this functionality is available to everyone. So it's always fun to learn with everyone, learn with your friends, compete with your friends. And together we put more effort when we are competing with our friends because we want to come out on top. So all of you, if in your colleges, in your schools, wherever you are, like, you can go ahead and create private league as well. Download the app. It's completely free. Create a private league. Ask your friends to download the app as well. You can join it. And you can similarly how this FRT group is created, you can create a group for your college or your friend circle or your area you live in, whatever. And then you can invite people to join in and you can compete and come out on top.
Super. Okay. So let's go ahead and play maybe a match, right? So at least, I mean, I want to stay on the top of the leaderboard. So let's go ahead. I'll play a quick match here and I'll show you guys what the experience looks like. So, okay, I've been paired with Myron 74. If it's any of you guys here, then let's see how how we play. So on winning, you get 14 trophies, and on losing, you get 11, and your rank based on this particular trophy count that you get. So here it is. This is the entire experience. So right now, ignoring everything, let's look at the power-ups down below. This is like KBC, right? A lot of you have played KBC. You have 50-50, you have 2x, you have 30 plus. 50-50 basically eliminates two wrong options. So when you don't know the answer, you have to only choose between two. So you can take your best guess there. Then 2x, when you're very sure about the answer, okay, opposite of 50-50, when you're very sure, and say you want double points for that particular question, that's when you enable the 2x power up and you're actually able to get double the points. Then also say you have a scenario where you need 30 extra seconds, more time to answer, you can take the plus 30 power up as well. So right now I'm going to, I'm pretty close to the end of my timer. I'll use plus 30 as well. Let's see what the answer is. Okay, it's tagged. That's nice. And okay, give me a moment to read the question. So I am engaged. Okay, so if I don't speak, I'm sorry. This is addictive. Okay. And for those of you who want to know what the power-ups are again, you can just click on the I and you'll have an explanation of them. All right, okay, I've got to beat him. So, okay, I'm on a good track. I knew that pretty well. This looks a little tricky. Okay, okay. Okay, so I still won it. I was ahead of my opponent. Woohoo. So I got rewarded with 14 trophies. And let's see where I am on the leaderboard right now. Oh, okay. Someone has got more trophies than me. That's nice. All right, I'm in second rank. Guys, come on. I already have branded merchandise. It's for you guys. So try to beat me. Come up the leaderboard. We'll see who's the first, second, and third. Let's actually take 5 minutes right now. Let's see who's able to actually climb up the leaderboard in 5 minutes. All right. And of course, you'll be learning, in this entire journey as well. So it's going to help you either way. So let's keep this live for 5 minutes right now, and then we'll move to the questions, etc. Okay, I can see Gunjan is matched with me. Hope I gave you a tough competition, Gunjan.
Prajwal, you want to talk about the power-ups? Did you?
Yeah, Bhavesh, I did.
Okay, all right.
All right, so in the meantime, you guys are playing. I'll just take a bit of your time. Okay, and I'll also tell you about one more cool feature. Say you have joined as a guest user for whatever reason, you can change your name using this option here. You'll have to earn 1,000 coins for that. Then you'll be able to change your name. That's one. Second thing, there's also one more feature called as leagues. Okay, this is where you can play multiplayer battles with the rest of the world, not a cohort of people, and you're ranked accordingly as well. Now, these trophies that you see here, all right, you can also be ranked globally, and you have a global leadership board. So this, according to me, is the ultimate leaderboard of who is the cloud champ of the world, right? Of who is that one cloud pro expert guy, all the executives of the world. So you're able to compete with the entire world here. You're able to see your cloud skills, where you stand. you're able to prove yourself that, you know what, guys, I'm number one on CloudAttack. I'm the number one in the world. You can claim that title. So this is a very exciting opportunity. Right now, the topper here has 1,536 trophies. Let's see if you guys can, break that record. And I want to see people in this session at the number one rank. Come on, after such a session, I believe everyone should be able to do it. So let's come back to private leagues. Let's see the progress. Ouch! I went to the third rank, guys. Okay. See, 21 people. Guys, come on, we have 31 people in the meeting. You know what? I don't want to stay on the second rank. I'm going to play again. Okay, whoever Shashank right on the session, I'm paired against you.
And I want to check, is Shashank there on the call? Shashank, if you are, if you can come out of the mute. Prajwal, Prajwal beat me in the league, so I'm now very sad. I'm not playing another one. But let's see, Prajwal, if you wins this against Shashank.
Sure. And I've run out of coins for power up. So, Shashank definitely has an upper hand. Okay. Oops, got one wrong.
And therefore, a tip, once you're sure, then only click a option. Otherwise, it doesn't give you an option of changing once you've clicked, right? So just be wary of the
Yes.
fact that you touch the screen only when you're 100% sure.
True. Also, in case if you find you are not able to answer a lot of questions right, then we have a solo mode as well, which Prajwal, I request you to probably show that
Sure,
if you,
Bhavesh.
let's say if you're not doing well here and you want, okay, let me learn a little bit and come back. You don't have to go outside of the app to learn. We have a solo mode where you don't have a time limit. You are just playing with yourself. And any wrong question you answer, we're going to give you a right answer and tell you why it is. So maybe Prajwal, you can show a quick demo, please.
Sure, Bhavesh. Let's go to level 1. Okay, so this is my question right here. So the following is not a type of cloud server. Guys, anyone in the chat wants to tell me the answer? Let's see.
Anybody who wants to take a lead, try.
Okay, dedicated.
If you want, you
Right.
can also post in your answers in the chat.
Dedicated. All right. One option, dedicated. Okay. All right. So actually, let's click on dedicated, shall we? Let's see if that's the right answer. Oops. That's incorrect.
Incorrect.
So let's actually understand why it's incorrect. All right. So a cloud server is a pooled, centralized server resource that is hosted and delivered over a network. Most cloud server is a terminology, not a server itself. So the question was, which of the following is not a type of cloud server? So the correct answer for this would have been merged cloud server. So as you can see, we made a mistake, but what matters is we learned from it. We picked ourselves back up, and next time we get this question right, anywhere, we'll know, you know what, I know the answer to this. I've made a mistake on CloudAttack, I'm not doing that again. So let's go to the next question. Which of the following is a type of cloud computing service?
So students, your option in the chat. Somebody want to come out of the mute and answer.
Yep.
Show Prajwal that we have smart students in the chat.
And here also you can use your power ups if you're not sure.
No worries, Shashank, you can type your answer in the chat. It's okay.
Okay. Software as a service. All right. Okay. Software as a
Okay, so
service. Okay, shall we click on software as a service, guys? Double
let's go
confidence this
ahead and
time.
check.
Woohoo, that's correct. We've made progress. So, software as a service allows users to connect to and use cloud-based apps over the internet. That's what software as a service is. And like I told you, I didn't tell you what is IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, but from the solo mode in CloudAttack, you can learn that yourself. Now, next question. Choose the option which is considered to be a cloud deployment model. Any suggestions, guys? Any answers? Okay, A, I can see private. Okay, in the chat box. Private. Okay. A. All right. Let's click on private. Wow, we've got it correct again. That's nice. Okay, now let's the disadvantages of using mainframe architecture. Come on, guys. You have to get this right. I've talked about this so much in the session today. Come on, options starting now. All of these. Okay. Aruna, I'm sorry, I can't make out. What is the option? Cause. Okay. A. All right. A. Okay. A. That's nice. All. Okay. Superb, guys. Superb. So let's go to all of these. Yup, that was correct. You guys rock. So that means everyone was attentive during the session. That's wonderful. Now let's go to the next question. Which of the following is an example of a PaaS cloud service? Guys, any guesses, answers, anything? Come on, come on. I don't see anything happening in the chat box right now. Okay, and yeah, anyone who wants to tell the answer can unmute as well. You guys can probably raise your hands and you'll be allowed to unmute. All okay. All okay. Heroku, all right. Windows, Azure. So we're getting different answers for this one. It's going to be hard for me to choose majority. Heroku, all right. B, okay. All right. So I can see a lot of Herokus here right now. So let's click on Heroku, shall we?
Yes. I have applied elimination rule.
Let's see. Oops, that's incorrect. No problem. So Heroku, Windows, Azure, and Azure SQL databases are all platform as a service solutions. Okay, let's continue and let's see the score. Oops, we got only half stars. That's because we made a couple of mistakes and the entire response was overall pretty slow. Score is 310 and yep, we cleared the level, however. So that was the solo, guys. You get to learn, you get to also experiment, and as a matter of fact, I'll just play level 1 again to show you one more cool feature. Say you didn't make it, right? Say you weren't able to clear the level. This is where you actually get to learn through video content as well. This particular video you're seeing is completely animated. It's like watching a cartoon. It'll remind you of Doraemon, Shinchan of your olden, younger days, and it's completely animated. So you will enjoy that experience as well. All right, so all of this is fine. Let's come back to private leagues and put a check on the leaderboard again. Okay, I can see Narmada with 43 trophies, number 1. Okay, I'm still on number 2. Guys, no one's beat me yet. Bhavesh is on number 3. Okay, I can see 24 people. That's great. So keep the Josh alive. Let's keep it going for those branded Microsoft merchandise. And we'll have this open for 24 hours. After 24 hours, you guys are going to get the results of who's at the top. Let's see who tops this. Let's see who wins that merchandise. Okay. If I'm on second rank, right? So I'll be giving the session and winning the merchandise. Don't think any of you guys want that
Excluding
to
you,
happen.
Prajwal, excluding
Ouch.
you.
Ouch,
We'll
Kunjan.
not count you. So, students, as Prajwal has mentioned, top 5 people on the leaderboard will get cool merchandise. It's a surprise for you, so we're not going to disclose what it would be. But once the league opens, we are going to find out our top 5 scorers, and you would receive this coming your way soon. Okay, so
Narmada, you can just drop in your email address here if you logged in as guest, and we'll contact you.
Great. So, Prajwal, anything else from your side before we open the floor for the questions?
No, Munjan, I think that's it. All I would like to say in the end is cloud up, keep playing, and keep rocking. So that's a thank you from us, and we are more than happy to host any questions, clear queries, and start learning again.
Thanks, Prajwal. Thank you so much. And every time I meet Prajwal, I give myself a new target to do. So thanks, Prajwal, for that. Always keep inspiring me. Students, it's your time. Come out of your mute. You can ask question to Prajwal. What you have to do is just raise your hand. We'll call out your name, and you can go and you can ask questions to students, right? To Prajwal. And one insider information I'm giving you, which nobody knows, that Prajwal has his board exam coming up in just few days. He's going to appear for his class 10th board exam, right? So all of you can wish him luck for his exams. And with all this also going on, he still keeps doing the good work, right? So with this, questions floor is open. Please raise your hand in case if you have any internet connectivity issue or something, you can type your question in the chat and we'll take it on your behalf. And I see Shreya, your hand is up. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi everyone. So I just wanted to tell everyone that whoever has joined as guest, do drop your email IDs here so that we have whole day. We have 23 hours left for the league to close. So who knows, you might learn and win it off, right? Prajwal might go back to rank 10 or something. Let's do it. I'm going to
Let's
learn
beat
for sure.
Prajwal. Let's beat Prajwal. Let's take that as a target. Try and do that with the knowledge that you acquire, right? So you have seen all the different modes. So Prajwal, a lot of best of luck coming your way. And there's one question from Krishna. Krishna, do you want to come out of mute and ask your question?
Sure, but just one more point. Sorry, guys, to interrupt.
Yeah.
So along with your email address, guys, those who've joined us guests, also please add your username in the game, so we'll be able to map, accordingly who you are.
Thanks, Prajwal, for that. So, Krishna, do you want to come out of mute and ask your question, or should I go ahead and ask question on your behalf? Okay, so I don't see him coming out of mute. So, Prajwal, the question is how to make learning fun. I think this is a question for everybody. What's your thing? How do you manage to make learning fun, both your board exams, even the things that you're doing at job? How do you do that?
So, Gunjan, in terms of cloud computing, right, how do you make it fun? The right now solution is CloudAttack. So you can go ahead on CloudAttack and make it fun. But right before CloudAttack, jokes apart, learning is always something that I've enjoyed personally. And I always believe in this thing that it's not important of what you learn, and that's not what decides on how much you consume, but it's rather the teacher, the method you're taught in, right? That's what matters. And making it fun just completely changes things here around, and it gets you digest more information and you're interested towards it. So that's the answer. Interest. When you're interest, learning becomes fun on its own. And when you are able to understand why you're learning it, use practical applications of it, and at the same time, you have the competition, right? That zeal, that fire in your tummy, that what, you've always been through this, right? That even in, I can feel this right now in board exams, that Sharma ji ka ladka is who we want to beat. So that fire, as kids, has always come into us. So it's always that competition, that interest, that application is what can make learning fun as a whole.
Thanks, Prajwal, for that. And Prajwal, since I think students are little, I think, inspired and they're in awe right now and they're not able to ask any questions to you, I'll ask a question to you. How do you
Sure,
balance
Gunjan.
between your studies, your work, as well as do you find some leisure time for yourself, or you just work and you study?
So, number one thing is I enjoy what I do. So, that's very important. So, be cloud tech, will be studies, I enjoy it, right? And I always have this thing, I tell this everywhere. Till 3 p.m., I'm a student, right? After 3 p.m., I'm an entrepreneur. That's it. So, I try to do my homework, schoolwork as much as possible in school, keep that bundle right there. And as soon as I am home, I switch on, I become an entrepreneur post 3 p.m. I talk to my team, host meetings, and whatnot. So it's that time management and prioritization that helps me manage stuff. Like, say I have an exam tomorrow, then I would study for that. But if I have something more important of CloudAttack that I know can deliver more value, I will prioritize that instead of some other thing in terms of academics, homework. So, and of course, it's late night struggles, being through the night and enjoying that entire process. So I think that's how I manage both stuff together.
Thanks, Prajwal. One question and a little technical question. What is the
Mhm.
difference between the AWS and Azure?
Sure. So AWS and Azure are both cloud hosting, providers, and they are basically people who will help you host cloud. Azure is first of all by Microsoft, AWS by Amazon. So they are two different services for hosting cloud and two different cloud service providers as a whole. So they offer different services as well, and their features are different. There are some things that some people prefer AWS. I personally prefer Azure cloud. So it's just two different cloud service providers.
Okay, thanks, Prajwal. One compliment for you that you're doing absolutely amazing. So that's a compliment that has come for you. I don't see
Thank
any
you
more
so much.
question. Okay, any the last call out, any last question before we deboard this flight of CloudAttack?
Oh, I can so even if you guys want to unmute, that would be great. I would love talking to any one of you here. Any questions, anything, right?
Okay,
And
and
like,
people are looking for your
right.
LinkedIn profile. So would you want to share that?
Sure, I'll do that right away.
Okay,
And
one
guys,
more
just a matter of
compliment.
fact.
Your communication
Okay,
skills are
thank
excellent
you.
at this stage. So a lot of compliments flowing in and very less of questions coming in.
Thank you. So I'm just sharing my LinkedIn profile in a minute. Okay, and guys, no question is stupid, small, big, nothing. A question is a question. So, anything it is that you feel you want to get it cleared, you want to learn, that's what matters, right? Just go ahead, shoot. And this
So
is my LinkedIn profile.
great. Thank you so much, Prajwal, for that. And Shashank, you have written your question, but can you just clarify a little? Do you mean that who's your inspiration to do all this stuff? What is that what you mean? And Shashank, if you can answer that, sorry, Prajwal, if you can answer that question, who is your inspiration to do all this?
Sure, Gunjan. So I have a lot of people around me, right? I have, my parents at home, my dad, I have Bhavesh, I in fact even have Shreya. So I think everyone around me is an inspiration. There's always something you can learn from anyone around you, be it, moral support and, a lot of things from my dad, a lot of things in terms of motivation, and a lot of things from Bhavesh, Shreya, project management, overall management. So everyone I meet, I'm always inspired by the stuff they have to offer, the good things, and I learn from that. So everyone is my inspiration.
Great. And Prajwal, what's the last movie that you saw?
Last movie that I saw, okay, that's a bad question for a person attending board exams, but I'll try to recall. I think um the last movie I saw, I think yeah, it was Kanthara. I don't know if you guys have heard it. So I saw it on the theater because everyone was just in awe with it. So that was yes, the last movie I saw.
Great. Thanks. I am going to go and watch that. And okay, so Shashank has one more question for you. What are you looking forward?
So overall, I have a vision to solve social problems using affordable technology. That's the long-term goal, and I'm already an entrepreneur. And most importantly, grow CloudAttack, right? Because I know the potential it has, and to get it there, it's going to require a lot of time, effort, and a lot of other resources. So getting CloudAttack bigger, massive, is what I'm looking forward to, and at the same time, getting my vision reached out to people and implementing that in the world. Of course, learning a lot of more stuff, new stuff coming my way. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Great to hear that, Prajwal. And I'm embedding my questions also in between, right? So are we going to see Prajwal in next Shark Tank season?
Sure. So, as a matter of fact, actually, we went till the final audition round of Shark Tank India season 2. Me and Bhavesh went all the way to Kolkata, auditioned, and we couldn't make it on TV this time, but that's completely fine. We always have a next time, right? So, we'll be there. Hopefully, you'll see us in Shark Tank season 3.
Wow, great. And who's your favorite shark?
My favorite shark, I think, is Aman Gupta because the way he just interacts, entertains people on Shark Tank, and most importantly, his pitches, right? His investing strategies and the people he's invested in. So I think he's my favorite shark.
Great. Okay, so now a question coming from student. What is the roadmap for cloud engineer?
Okay, so I think Bhavesh should be a better person to answer this as a whole, but I'll just give a small walkthrough. So it depends on the field you want to pursue. So cloud computing has many domains, right? You have an AI engineer, you have DevOps specialist, you have a solutions architect. So it depends on where you want to go. But I think number one is get hungry for cloud. Learn more cloud is perfectly. Then say maybe for example learn Azure, the domain you're interested in. You have an awesome certification called AC 900. Try attempting that. It gives you a pretty good, roadmap of all the services available in Azure. Post that, go into the domain you want to, clear that certification, and most importantly, get that hands-on experience. Don't just sit ratta maro for certifications. And one thing I'd like to discourage is going through any websites for overall just the questions. Get your hands dirty with Azure, see what it can do, get excited, and appear for the certification. And that also helps you land your jobs in cloud because you have that hands-on exposure of it.
Thanks, Prajwal. And another question, I so not want to ask this question, but it's a question, so I have to ask you. Have you earned any AWS certification?
No, no, not yet. So I'm in so love with Azure right now that I don't have any AWS certifications right now. Mainly because I never felt the necessity to move out of Azure. It's just so easy, overwhelming to me that yeah, I'm stuck with Azure right now. So I have a lot more certifications to do in Azure. So let's get on that journey.
Okay, so Narmada has a question who is leading our leaderboard right now. Which is easier, AI or cloud?
Okay, so this is how it is, right, Namanda? So there are things going together. So on one side you have AI and cloud. It's a pretty good way to put this. You need cloud for AI, like I mentioned in the session. Running AI ML models on your systems not possible. Buying servers for running those models again, lot of capital required. Instead, what you can do is run those AI ML models on Azure, and at the same time, not only would you be able to train using your own data sets, but at the same time, most importantly, you would be able to use existing cognitive services models that Azure has to, offer. So in terms of easier, it is definitely I'm going to go with it won't be anything easier, right? But what is more beneficial is learn cloud because on top of that, as a layer, you can learn AI and you'll have a package complete. Not only will you know AI ML, but you'll be able to develop AI ML applications and deploy them as well.
Thanks, Prajwal. I think that's all the questions. So I'm also not going to ask many questions to you now. So Prajwal, any parting comments for our students?
Sure, Gunjan. So, first of all, thank you so much for being a lovely, interactive students and an audience, right? It means a lot to me to be able to be in this session. Thank you to Microsoft for making this entire thing possible and happen. Complete gratitude to everyone present in this meeting. And most importantly, guys, cloud is a long way to go. Okay, don't swim against the tide. Use it to your advantage. Cloud is the future, and guys, that future is now. Leverage it, use it to your advantage. Cloud up, and guys, keep rocking. That's it. So I think those are my final comments.
Thanks, Prajwal. Thank you, students, for joining in. With this, we are going to sign off. You'll have this session recording available to you on YouTube channel, which is our FRT YouTube channel. Thank you so much and keep learning. Thanks, Prajwal. Thanks, Shreya, and thanks, Bhavesh. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much to
everyone.
everyone here.
See you in the private league.
Yeah, yeah.